Hello and welcome to episode 3 in the series State of the State, Bayelsa 2019. In this episode, we will center our interactive analysis around the challenges Bayelsa is confronted with as a state and bring in approaches governorship hopefuls have outlined towards tackling them. Mr. Frank, it's good to do this with you once again.
Paul, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. In this episode, we'll center around how indebted Bayelsa is domestically and internationally, government-owned companies, how they should be run, pension liabilities of the state, religious undertakings by the government house itself, vested interest, duplication of government responsibilities, bogus and oversized government structure, as well as corruption and contract debts. And so let's begin with how indebted Bayelsa is domestically and internationally.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. To talk about how indebted Bayelsa is domestically and internationally, we can only guess because the government has not been able to be transparent with respect to that. Though there's been a lot of transparency between here and there over the past 4 years or even more. But they've not been able to come up with exactly how much money we are indebted. So for that, we can't be specific. But it is quite obvious that the state is heavily indebted. But to what tune, we do not know. And there are a couple of projects that have been put in place purely on debt. Projects like the Bayelsa State International Airport. That the governor himself actually announced that cost the government 60 billion naira. It was originally 40 billion, but at the end of the day, it cost 60 billion. That alone, the money was raised in debt, and there are several other things. But we can't be specific how much money we are owing, but the state is heavily indebted. Actually, can't bring it in the development in the state.
So it is expected that governorship hopefuls should harp on this, how they intend taking care of this, our indebtedness as a state, so that it won't be some kind of hurdle, some kind of huge obstacle in our march of progress as a people. Without taking care of all of these challenges, we cannot talk of coming up with a vibrant formal economy. All of these guys are talking about reflating our economy, but they've not talked about how indebted we are as a society and how they intend taking Bayelsa State out of that huge indebtedness. Isn't that?
That is actually one big problem we are having. As a Bayelsan, I would hope that this time around, this political season, this electioneering season, people should focus more on how to get us out of trouble. Like one of the biggest bane our economy is having is this enormous state debt. Okay, and we've got over 20 aspirants here and there, and people were talking about the economy, and they've not been able to talk about how they can get Bayelsa State out of this, or at least get it managed. Nobody said it is bad to borrow to run a government, but then you have to understand at what point is it beyond, is it still within the still manageable or beyond management limits. So we should understand all of that. So the people, those aspirants we have all around the place, should be able to identify these factors, because these are the factors militating against economic development in the state. They should identify them and be able to talk about them with respect to how we can get ourselves around this. And despite the existence of such that they can only sell the good purpose they are supposed to sell, not this negative purpose they are selling. I think they should focus on it and think of how they can get us out of that.
Let's quickly move on to efforts at installing a vibrant formal economy. We've had a couple of governorship hopefuls talk about that, particularly Timalaide talks about a blue economy. I really don't have a good understanding of what it means by the blue economy, but I guess in the course of the campaigns, we get to understand what it means by the blue. Do you have any understanding of what it means?
A little bit. This is why I always say, I am neutral for now. Okay, I'm still looking for who to support, but I have to be very, very open here. Timalaide appeared to be one amongst many who is in connection with the rest of the world when it talks about the blue economy. What do we mean by blue economy? Though he hasn't explained it, I hope he should even have a better explanation. But with what the textbooks can give to us, blue economy is that effort of government that is trying to sustain an economy out of ocean resources. Okay, like the maritime sector. So, whereas this is a riverine state, we've got water all around us. And what the man is trying to say, how can we take advantage of these waters around us? How can we take advantage of the big ocean we have around, the Atlantic Ocean we have all over the place? The man is talking about that. How can we take advantage of it? So for him to identify our resources, our benefits, and thinking of what we can derive from them in itself makes the man understand what he's talking about. I think the Blue Economy Initiative, let's wait for him to come up open and dissect it for us to understand. But having that mind in itself, to me, is beautiful.
Let's bring in other governorship profiles. Kennedy Okoko talks about a private sector-driven economy, that's PPP, public-private partnership. He equally talks of ensuring that oil companies that have everything to do with Bayelsa State are pressured in some ways so that relocate to Bayelsa State. That would be an economic agenda is pursuing, and let's talk about how possible that is and how we intend going about that with a view to rejigging our economy.
Yeah, Kennedy Okoko is another guy that brings a lot of excitement in the process. I personally like him. He's new, just 41 years old, and he's an achiever. I understand all of that. And the one reason I like him is one of very few guys who are just what you can refer to as an air of fresh breath in the sector. He's just new. He's in here to do. But he's talking about industrialization. Okay, that if he becomes the governor of Bayelsa State, is going to industrialize the state. That's broad. Then he makes another broad statement, but like saying making oil companies to relocate their headquarters from wherever it is now to Bayelsa State. How possible is that? I don't know, but he has said those things get to be done. I believe I'm a man of possibility, and I think that as far as we can talk about it, we can do it. The man talks about industrializing the state. But I want to make him to understand that industrializing the state is very good, but he should equally realize that there are sectors traditional to us. It will be easier if he can identify those sectors traditional to us and industrialize those sectors, then development will be better.
I think that's exactly what Bolade again is harping on when he says agriculture and tourism. We have, without a doubt, we do have tourism potential. Without a doubt, we have, to some extent, an agricultural society. And so when Bolade again says, I'm going to rely heavily on agriculture and tourism to boost the economy and give poverty if only he would make the effort to go in depth in his analysis of what he means by agriculture and tourism as factors to revamping the economy.
Yeah, Bolade Gali is another guy I actually appreciate. I appreciate his presence there. He's a very responsible man, a gentleman, a man with experience, and he has taken advantage of all of that. He's always screaming the fact that he has a lot of experience when you talk about governance. I have no reason to dispute him. But he talks about his approach is appear to be agri and tourism. And these are things that are actually traditional to us. I will give him kudos for identifying what is traditional to us. Agri. Okay? But I equally will have to make him to understand that, yes, it is not enough to say agri. But what are you talking about? You have to understand. Are you talking about agri within the neighborhood of plant and harvest? Or you're talking about agri within the neighborhood of processing and manufacturing? Okay, which of these do we need as the people, and how do we go about it? How is it going to go about it? Is it by creating more awareness, by empowering local farmers, by providing loans here and there? He hasn't been able to talk more about that, though this campaign people don't talk, people don't engage the people. So they engage outsiders. So it's difficult for us to know what exactly they have. They make these kind of broad statements and they've not been able to break it down. For Egali to say is banking on the agri and tourism. And talk about the tourism just a few times. Tourism is another beautiful part of it. But the tourism part is one part of an economy people should understand. It's not actually a driver of an economy from the beginning. It can drive an economy only when the tourism relies on another sector of that economy. Is he talking about building the museum, or is he talking about turning the entire Bayelsa state into tourism site? I know you might be thinking about Dubai and all of that, but he should equally understand that tourism at this level needs to be put in place, needs to be built. And if it is already existing material resources that need to take advantage of, then it will need to work on them. But the two, tourism and agri, I think we have prospects.
Quickly, let's talk about oversized government structure. We all know that Bayelsa is a small state. Ordinarily should require a small structure with respect to governance that is effective in delivering the dividends of democracy. But we see our state has up to 15 ministries, I guess. And sometimes you really don't even understand what a particular ministry's role or responsibility is. Take, for instance, the Ministry of Finance. Ordinarily, we all know the Ministry of Finance is managing financial state. Because I tell you, economic development is more a technical phenomenon than an economic one itself. And so there is the need for a ministry dedicated to economic development, or if that is not a possibility, then some kind of economic development commission should be charged with the responsibility of coming up with development plans for the state. Societies all over the world attract development to themselves by targeting development. Yeah, you lure economic development to your society. You attract it to your society. It's almost like a woman. You go about getting the woman into the heart of the woman in some subtle way. That is the same with economic development, and without some kind of agency, commission, or ministry charged exclusively with the responsibility of attracting economic development, we might just again end up with one man who thinks he knows everything and sits in government house and be directing how economic development should come about, basically and purely by his personal discretions. Because that won't work. I expect a Ministry of Economic Development or a Ministry of Science and Technology charged with that responsibility of attracting economic development to our society. Do we expect any of these governorship hopefuls to say, I'm going to ensure that, and there is this thing with singleness of purpose, if a ministry is charged with that responsibility and coordinating or linked with every other ministry, because every ministry plays a role in economic development. I'm not only saying only one ministry should be charged with that responsibility, but the entire responsibility should be on the shoulders of a particular ministry in collaboration with every other ministry to ensure that there is this installation of a formal, vibrant economy. Do you expect that from any of the governorship offices?
Yeah, we do. Paul, thank you for observing that. Before we talk about the aspirants with respect to what they have in stock for us, yes, let's address this issue of Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Economics. Like, this has been a Bayelsa problem, and by extension a Nigerian problem. We've always been finding it difficult seeing the difference between money, finance, and the economy. So we always charge the Ministry of Finance with an economic responsibility, thinking that the Ministry of Finance runs the economy of the country. Finance deals with financial issues, financial challenges. The Ministry of Economics deals with the economy in itself. The economy is beyond finance. there are a lot of other factors that combine to make up the economy. We do not have much time, but to put it, bring it down to our guys contesting here and there, they should understand this, that it's a good thing that they've been able to identify economy as one basis they all can campaign around. The economy becomes the ultimate. It's a good thing they have that mind. But let them equally understand that if the economy gets to work, then the economy gets to be singled out, just like you're saying, singleness of people, economy gets to be singled out and tackled. So we should know when we're talking about economy, we should know when we're talking about money or finance. But then the other statement you made, that with regard to the bogusness of government structure and all of that, yeah, this is a good thing in Bayelsa State. To be very frank, yeah, the restoration government, the first tenure, were like caught up in this, having the mind to include everybody else, having the mind to create jobs here and there, and then decided to create so many ministries. Most of the ministries were just moribund ministries. They were ineffective ministries because that's more like duplication of jobs. But then in this government, it's like it was advised, he realized himself the ministries are fewer, but even as we're talking, there are still far more ministries than expected. So we should bring the ministries down. Simply because the federal government has it does not mean we should have it as well too. We have to bring our ministry down, customize the ministry to serve our own people. I think government should be sized up. The size of government should be sized up.
Let's talk about corruption and how we go about tackling it so that it doesn't become continuously become an obstacle to our developmental aspirations. There is the need for public procurement processes that are transparent and that are of world-class standards, with a view to ensuring that you have a funny way of saying some of these things with respect to corruption. It's better to discourage corruption and not to allow it to happen than to let corruption happen and then look for a way to fight it. Because fighting corruption entails lots of cost. So it's better to discourage it from happening than to let it happen and then go about fighting it. Do you expect any of these governorship hopefuls to talk exclusively about how they intend minimizing the incidence of corruption with a view to ensuring that we don't go about fighting them and spending huge sums of money in the fight against corruption and not allowing the effects of corruption cripple our developmental aspirations and efforts?
Yes, for now, none of them have been able to say a thing about corruption. It's been abandoned. But they do not know that it's a major problem. In Bayelsa State, corruption of government institutions and public servants is more of a problem. Their attitude to power, their attitude to life, everything is so corrupt that it's more of a problem than even financial corruption. Okay, but when we talk about corruption, we talk more about finances, how much money they are stealing, whatever. But in the Bayelsa State, despite the fact that it is not the right thing, people think stealing money, if you find yourself in government stealing money, is a smart thing to do, and not stealing money is a dumb thing to do. We always do everything the other way around, opposite way. That is what we think in Bayelsa State. But it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that. So the aspirant should look at corruption very critically. Make some statement with respect to corruption, how they can fight it and how they can prevent it. Fighting it is one thing, it's important, but preventing corruption is more important. You don't put in place institutions and put a bunch of laws, not a bunch of laws around it that will allow corruption to be bred and get away scot-free. So let's look for a way to prevent corruption. Let's look for a way to protect our monies, protect our institutions, protect our cultural values, protect our political values, and protect our values as a human being, so that people all over the place, we'll talk about the German, we'll talk about the Bayelsa man, people know that these are actually upright and dedicated people and not just corrupt.
This is important simply because it is evident right now that there is more corruption in public procurement than corruption of one man dipping his hands into public coffers. Corruption happens when public assets are about to be acquired, and then people go about, okay, a particular asset that should ordinarily cost 2 million naira, because I am the one in charge who should go to the market to buy it, I would say 4 million, and then I will buy it for 2 million, and then pocket the other 2 million. That is where the main corruption is. That's what should be put in place to ensure that those kind of things don't happen. Public procurement, cleaning up the public procurement process.
Yes, a lot of things need to be put in place. But for the fact of time, we do not have enough time to talk about all of that. So I actually want to shy away from that, because if I start it, we won't be able to end it, because very soon you will tell me, Frank, time off. So let me not get into that and get straight to talking about Jonah.
Yes, that's the Deputy Governor, John Jonah. He talked about consolidating the gains already made by the restoration government. He sees himself as better placed to continue as governor of Bayelsa State. To him, the restoration government has done wonderfully well, and that there is the need for continuity, there is the need for consolidation. I heard him talk about the fact that he's been there from implementation to execution phases of most of the economic policies and programs of the restoration government, and so he's better placed, and that if given the responsibility, he will do a better job than the other helpfuls. That's what he said. There is this beautiful thing with respect to continuity and consolidation. But then, what are we continuing with? What are we consolidating upon? That is the other.
But this is coming from a man who is the deputy governor of Bayelsa. As far as I'm concerned, I would say that John Jonah, as deputy governor, is the most contained deputy governor in the country. Okay? It's so contained that in Bayelsa, sometimes we forget that we even have a deputy governor. For the first time, he's coming out and saying, I'm tired of sleeping in the box. I'm getting my way out of this box, and I'm going to make my statement. And he's out. And I'm so happy he's out. And then we are expecting to hear him telling us different things, telling us what the people want to hear. And then only for him to come out to say that he's going to continue with whatever it is the restoration government has done. We've had the restoration government for 8 years now. It is not enough for somebody to come and say we will have it for another 4 years. What are they talking about? Are we to blame him for all the errors of the restoration government? Are we to blame him, praise him for all the good part of the government? He should come up with new plans. He should not try to present the old plan in the hope of pleasing his boss. Come up, give us new things. Let us make us to understand the difference between him and the government. As a Bayelsa, whoever that emerges as the governor, I would never at any point expect that the person will abandon what government has done, as the restoration government has abandoned what the Tinubu government has done, those projects the Tinubu government has done. Okay, for that has been the restoration government policy. I'm not expecting other governments should do that as well. So the moment you are the governor of Bayelsa State, it becomes your responsibility to make sure that unfinished projects are completed. The good ones get to be followed, and those policies that are detrimental to the state should be made away with, and better ones be brought. That is the essence of government. I think I welcome the presence of the Deputy Governor Jonah in their political arena, but I would expect him to come up with new packages and presenting the old package.
He should be his own man.
It should be his own man.
Okay.
It shouldn't even be hiding under the shadow in the shadows of his boss.
All right. Finally and importantly, let's talk about the place of a compelling collective vision, a vision that will be aimed at reinventing society. We need some kind of guiding concept that will direct us at all points in time towards a preferred destination. Governments should only come into office to know that there is a guiding concept in place in society, and that as a government, I only need to align myself with this guiding concept, a guiding concept that will craft our debates and public discussions.
Yes.
A guiding concept that will make every Bayelsan, give every Bayelsan a touch of dignity wherever he or she is. A guiding concept that will make every Bayelsan to see the common good as far more important than the personal good or self-interest. We need that kind of guiding concept, that kind of vision, collective compelling vision. And only governments that are coming in can spearhead that sort of thing. Every society that has become a civilized, developed society was once guided by that kind of vision or guiding concept, and ours cannot be an exception. Do we expect any of these governorship hopefuls to say, I'm going to spearhead, if you like, call it a movement that will see to it that we are guided, collectively guided by some kind of values that we all collectively subscribe to. At the end of the day, we are made uniquely, presented uniquely to the rest of the world by what we believe in. Something we will all uphold as a belief, as a guiding principle. The need for us to see the good, again, the need for us to see the good of Bayelsa State, that's first principle.
Yes. Like John like rightly put it, every civilized society has a guiding principle or guiding ideology. The American had what they call the American dream. In Bayelsa, we should have our own Bayelsa dream, but for right now we have Bayelsa agenda that might lead to a Bayelsa dream. But with respect to that, because you try to relate that to the aspirants. Therefore, aspirants we've talked about scantily here, like John Gilmer, the deputy governor of Bayelsa State, and then Chimia Laibi, and then Olade Egali, and then Kanibio Koko. These four persons we've covered today. Yes, I think these are all people of integrity. These are all experienced persons in one way or the other. Some experience in government and others are experienced in private sector in their business. So we can rely on them to come up with something like that. But they can only do that if they understand where politics stops for governance to pick up. Right now we are playing politics. But the moment we've got the governor, we should realize that politics has stopped. Time for governance. So when we're talking about governance, now the welfare of the people takes the front seat. At that point, if they are what they say they are, then they will be able to bring measures to make sure the future of Bayelsa is protected. But we can't continue like this. We have to come up with a guiding concept. We have to come up with some kind of autonomous bodies, institutions that will be responsible for coming up with standard setting. So if we're criticizing a government on the basis of economy, it should be criticized against the platform of what has been provided by any institution or body that is responsible for standard setting. And for that to happen, the government should make deliberate effort, work with the private sector, come up with a standard setting institution. Then the institution should be the people to set the standard. So if you are contesting, it doesn't matter wherever you are. It might be APC, PDP, or ABGA, any kind of party you like, but your campaign is going to be based on the standard that has been put in place, that has been set for you people to follow. So if, for instance, we say in the next Bayelsa State will become a developed, prosperous state in an underdeveloped country or in a developing country, and we have a 30-year timeline. All the elections we will have within this period everybody should come up with their plans to make sure Bayelsa get to that destination in 30 years. the road they might follow might be different, but the destination should always be the same. But as it is now, the destinations are different, the roads are different, we are still not going anywhere.
All right, that's on this episode of the series State of the State Bayelsa 2019. Like I always like to end, the State of the State Bayelsa 2019 is the personal effort of Frank and I with a view to getting involved in the political process that will ensure that a government comes into office in 2020, February 14, that will be there for the state, for the good of the state, and not for any other thing. And so we would like you to continue to follow us, continue to like our videos, continue to comment on our videos, and continue to importantly subscribe to our